I'm going to talk about future of work in the cloud transformation area. And this is about Wipro, which Bala spoke about a few presentations back. He spoke about Wipro, and I do not want to repeat on the same. And this is about the division of Wipro where I am working for. This is Global Command Center, where it is not a single account that I support, but it is a combination of a lot of other accounts. So uh, we are supporting the CAs that are mentioned here, and um, again, I do not want to go through all these things. Let me go straight into the engagement summary, where I am currently working with the account. So this is about a telco customer for whom we have migrated the on-premises workload to AWS. And we started in the year 2019, and we did a complete analysis of what is the workload they have, what is the workload they have on the on-premises data center, and we did a complete study, and then we migrated it to AWS. And when we do the migration to AWS, there were a lot of other constraints that we had to go through, like the way it works when it is on the on-prem, and how it would respond or how it would work when it is on the AWS. Those things were also taken into consideration, and we first tested it completely, because being a telco customer, any impact, even very small or large, that is not acceptable there. So we have to do complete testing. So we did it, and it was in a phase manner. Application by application, we did the migration. We didn't take everything together to the cloud. Application by application, when we do, it means that the connectivity between what we have on the cloud and what we have on the on-prem is also to be established, and it should talk to each other in a same way as it was talking when uh, the same communication should be there as it was when everything was on the on-premises. So that's how we migrated application by application. And once when the workload is on AWS, we cannot stop there. There were a lot of other things that we may have to continue. This is a continuous improvement also that we have to show here. When it is a continuous improvement, it is in the space of technology refresh, and also we should keep giving benefits to the customer. And it is not only the cost benefits, but also we should regularly keep checking the performance of the applications, and how well we are utilizing the resources that we have put on the AWS landscape. So altogether, it is from migration, even though when the AWS landscape is completed, the support continues in terms of continuously improving, analyzing, and keep the activities going on in that space as well. So um, let me go to the next slide. Yeah, this is the transformation. This is the cloud journey, where we first transform to the cloud. Whatever we had on the on-prem, we moved it, irrespective of the applications. Whether if it is a database, we have not suggested that we will again take the database server there on the cloud. Instead, we would look for the services that are available on the AWS for database services like RDS. So we started implementing RDS. And also the workload, when we take it to the cloud, we should also leverage on what is available on the cloud when it is for serverless. Instead of putting a server from on-prem to the cloud, we will look out for uh, serverless wherever it is possible. For example, if there are any scripts that we need to execute, instead of putting a server there to execute the script, we will start using the Lambda, and we will start utilizing any other possibility of utilizing any other services that are available on the AWS. And the same application we may use, but it is not in the same way that we can use when it is on the cloud. So we need to see how well we can improve it when it is on the cloud, because the scalability is the option that cloud has given us. So when we know that there is going to be some sales, or when there is going to be some festival time, usually usually this telco in the telco industry, there would be offers and promotions available. So during that time, we have to leverage what is available on the cloud. We cannot keep a heavy instance running all the time, but in the same time, when we have such a situation there where we anticipate that there could be a lot of users coming into the websites, visiting the websites, placing the orders or anything like that. If we anticipate, we immediately scale up the instances and we will keep it ready for the instances to handle the load. So after transforming, that is the one of the advantages we saw, and we were constantly checking and we were running uh, and optimizing it in that way. So after the transformation and when we are running, when we are leveraging all the possibilities that are available on the cloud, also we have to enhance it. So first, when we started, when we brought the workload completely into the cloud, it was it was a script that was being used to take the backups, the lambda scripts we were using to take the backups. But then we thought, okay, we should use the backup service here. AWS backup came, and we started leveraging it, and we started using it for taking the backups, which was a central console for us. So it is uh, it is the services. Whenever the cloud providers give us the options, introduce the services, we test them vigorously and see how feasible it is for this environment and how we can implement it. Likewise, patching is something that we do manually in all the environment, but when we are on cloud, we wanted to use the same AWS system manager service here so that we can automate it. We can from one single console, we can operate from there, and we can patch all the systems, both which are hosted on AWS as well as the hybrid. So we started utilizing it. And apart from all these things which AWS gives, we also started running the initiatives. For example, I can talk about three major initiatives that we have taken. We have introduced to the client. So these are the three. First thing is, yes, yeah, a service that is a volume type that was introduced in the month of December 2020. The reinvent is the program which AWS runs, and they give the new service. They introduce the new service in the reinvent. We participated in the reinvent, and we saw that there is a new service coming, which is giving better performance and also a cost savings there. So we took this and we proposed this to the client, saying this is one of the service that we saw in the last week's reinvent, and we introduced this to the client and we explained it to the client, and we got approval for that. As it is giving better performance and the cost optimization, it was easy for us to get approval, and we started doing a testing for this. And after testing vigorously, we saw that it is not giving any, as it is a new service, we don't have a known issues database available anywhere or by Amazon or anywhere in the internet. We will not see that implemented already by other clients or other accounts. So this is the first time. So we did the testing completely, and then we did it on the sandbox, and we took it to the non-prod. And when we showed them the results that this is how it is going to be, they took the results in terms of billing also. uh, uh, we did it and we finished this in the month of Jan, so they saw the results immediately in the month of February, and they approved it. And we started doing it in the prod environment in the very next month itself, and we completed it successfully. Somewhere around 700 plus volumes we have completed, which gave us very good performance as a result, and also the cost benefit. And the second initiative that we took is for the scheduled start and stop. When the instances, when the servers are on the cloud, it is all as pay as you go. So whatever we use it for, that is how much we will be paying it for also. So when we say that, we don't need all the instances to be running all the time. For example, a developer who is using a dev environment, when the developer is not in the office, we don't need the server to be in the on state. So we analyze all the servers on the usage patterns, and we came up with a report. Okay, these servers are not being
10
used.
minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we came up with a report with the usage patterns, and we saw the servers that are not in use, and we proposed that to the client and the application teams, and we got a approval saying whether we can stop this during the non-business hours. By doing this, for for a month, it would be approximate 730 hours for which we would be paying as the bill. But when we do this, when we schedule it for the start and stop, what happens is, in a day we would be using only 8 hours, and few hours are there which we use only when we do a testing. So we were able to considerably lower down the number of hours of working of those instances, and we were able to see a very good reduction in the bill, and we were not running anything that is not required. So we were having a complete control over what we are using and what we are paying for. So the next thing is instance right sizing. So not all the instances are to be on the higher resource, like lot of CPU or memory need not be kept ready for a instance. So certain instances may be something like in the month end only there would be a lot of work load on it, and during that time only there would be certain spikes, but rest of the month it would be very less. So and there would be certain instances which we will see when we go through the reports, that the CPU is very low and we don't need so many cores of CPU to be given to that server. So likewise we took report of all the servers, and wherever we see that it is underutilized, we will say that we can go down. We don't need so many CPUs, we don't need so much of memory being assigned to this server, so we can reduce it. And likewise we did it, and we had a very good savings given. And this is the information which is on the slide, which I just
12
spoke about.
minutes.
Thank you so much. Just 30 more seconds, I will be finishing it. GP3 volume change is the first one that I spoke, and schedule start stop and right sizing. And this was finally the amount that we have saved. And here in the month of May, we have saved 18,000 USD, but it is going to continue. It is not stopped there. So we will continue, and this will be a continuous improvement. And these are the
Yeah.
initiatives which I explained. And if anything,
So
is
overall,
any questions? Yeah.
overall, in as part of the value add, there is a program where there is a value add initiative called BVM, that is called Business Value Add Meter. So we have just bucketed this initiative for the future of work, whatever we execute from Wipro. So that is comes under BVM initiatives as a dollar saving value add, where customer benefit being approved, and we have been creating a success story creation for this kind of initiatives as part of future of work. Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Arun, and thank you, Bala,
Thank you.
for the wonderful presentation. Uh, just a couple of questions for you. Uh, some of these solutions and are already part of the Google or AWS optimization capabilities. So what are the things apart from that? And I saw the schedule start stop, etc. Apart from that, what else is the difference that this solution brings in which is not there in the standard package?
Yeah, it is. I agree, it is a standard package, but immediately picking it up when AWS introduces, that is the challenge here. We will not know how exactly that is going to act on our environment. For example, when we say GP3, we immediately picked it up. It was on December 5 or 6. I remember I attended the reInvent and immediately proposed this to the client and did the testing and showed the results. And by month of Jan, I was able to complete the testing and also on the non-prod, and immediately the next month I was able to complete it. So that is that is the work that we do it in the backend. Though it is a service introduced by cloud provider, the testing and the confidently implementing in the environment without any impact is what is the success here. I see that as a success here.
Okay. Uh, my last question. So, if you have to look at defining those three parameters which the client should measure you on after you implemented this, I'm talking specific to this project. And if you have to measure yourself on those metrics, how would you fare? What would be those metrics and how would you fare?
Yeah, the metric should be especially in this environment as we are in the cloud. What would be the metrics is, first thing is the performance, because for any cost, for cost savings also, we cannot let the performance go down. So the performance metrics are always on top, and the quality, the applications, the way it works and all these things. And when it is on cloud, it is always to be stay updated. We should not be in the back saying that we didn't know that this is happening in the cloud space, and we missed to update you. And those things should never be there. We should be always updated, and we should be immediately updating and testing it and keeping ourselves updated and also keeping the client updated about this is possible. You give me the approval, I will make it possible on this environment. So these are the important metrics that we should be always keen about.